tell the people your thoughts and experience so far being with Broker Solutions Academy. I think we've been working together for a few months now, but I'll first start off by introduce yourself, tell the people who you are and how we met and how we ended up here.
So my name is Steven. I been in the real estate credit industry pretty much all my life.
Real quick, I don't
So
that light right there is kind of messing up with your face. I don't know if you can. It's kind of bright on the side right there. Maybe yeah, the left side. Yes, much better. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that's dope. Much better.
all right.
Yeah. I don't want to look that much better than you. You know, I look better than you anyway. Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I was in taxes, real estate, all of the financial industries for quite a while. Had some, some troubles in my life and was kind of rebuilding and looking for something to complement some of the things that I was doing. And just looking on the internet, and it was crazy because I was about to kind of deal with Oz, and I ran across some of your Oz videos, and some of those videos where you were critiquing some of the programs out there, and that's how me and your relationship got started.
Okay. Oz, my best friend. Of course, I made a ton of videos about him. What do you, in your opinion, two-part question? What do you think about my criticism? And so far with your experience, because I do believe that you got to make sure that the promise meets the product. My biggest criticism on Oz is what he was promising to teach people is not what he was delivering. So number one, what do you think about my critique of Oz? Because I went pretty deep on him. And then number two, did I meet my promise? Did it meet what the expectations that I made with my program?
Right, absolutely. I think the criticism was warranted. When I first started with Oz, when I went and kind of got a sneak peek of the course, I actually called some of the companies that he had listed in his course that you were as a broker supposed to connect with to do the funding, and I quickly noticed that they were all brokers themselves. So as you always kind of say, the glorified referral partner, that was pretty much all you. And I actually did a deal with Rock Financial, a $15,000 deal, and I think they ended up sending me $150 or some shit like that. And I was like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? And so the criticism was warranted. Now, as far as your program, like I said, I'm not new to credit. I'm not new to funding, and I mean, your course ran the gambit. I mean, it was depth education. Um, it hit all the parameters, everything that a broker would need to educate themselves to not just be somebody out here just shuffling paperwork. So I think it was a night and day different from what I experienced in the market prior to getting with Broker Solutions.
I didn't even know. Maybe I forgot. I didn't know that you actually purchased the Oz program. I thought it was just something that you were considering. So you actually bought it.
No, I never purchased it, but the way he does it, he sends you something. I'm kind of slick, so I went off in there and I was able to see some of the companies that if you were to become a broker with him, you would be doing business with. So I started looking them up. I called a few of them, and it was Rock Financial, National Corporate Credit, and those are their brokers. So immediately I was able, with my savviness, I was able to see, man, I'm not really brokering. I'm just referring people to other brokers. And then I actually did a deal with, like I said, with Rock, and them people sent me $150.
Yeah. And to me, that was kind of one of my first things with issues with Oz is wasting people's time, wasting people's money, and that promise that he makes. And then secondly, he's really ruining the industry for us, from the customer and also the broker standpoint, because you have brokers that end up having a bad taste in their mouth from going through that experience that you did. And then most importantly, I've dealt with files where you had like 3 or 4 broker stacked up, and then it just gets confusing to a borrower, So nevertheless, my thing, because when I got into this and I was influenced by Oz, I appreciate, because I was like, man, if this is what's out there, I definitely can come up with something better, and I wanted to offer a sense of, there's two parts to my program. I wanted to offer clarity, as in the products that are available in the marketplace, and I wanted to offer systems that you can use to actually, you know, meet the objective of the borrowers and also, yourself as far as making money. So the clarity is given by giving you the three paths of lending guideline,
Absolutely.
and you get to see everything. And then, of course, we have the systems and tools in place that we use to help us achieve that goal. But I'll change gears a little bit. What was your thoughts on the three paths of lending, especially coming from somebody that, you understand credit, you've been in accounting, you've done, all of this stuff. This was not new to you, So what, from your standpoint, how did you think about how I wrapped it up and gave you that short, easy to crunch on perspective on the three paths of lending?
I think that's one of the greatest attributes of the program because it's a lot of just mess out here. You got these guys, they on Instagram and they just posting banks and saying you can get this much and get that much, and a lot of the consumers are confused. They don't understand that you have to have these three things in place in order to get anything. So I think that summed the industry up. And I mean, I've explained it to a couple of clients in the last couple of weeks since I started with you, and it's like a revelation to them. You know what I mean? So I've been using it as an educational point for my clients, and it's been like a revelation for them. So I think that it sums the industry up. It makes it very clear, and it also keeps me from wasting a lot of my time with a lot of these clients that come.
Absolutely.
That's the greatest thing to me that it does. It keeps me from wasting a lot of my time with people that don't have any of these things in place, and then it lets them know, hey, these are the things that I got to go work on. Even if I tell them, hey, I can't do nothing for you, they know what they need to go work on. So I think it was great.
I remember when I started working as a business loan broker, and there's all these products, and they look like shiny objects. You get so excited. Oh, you can do lines of credit, hard money. You can do business credit cards, MCAs. And when you get a client, you're just so excited to just get a client, and you get lost in the frost, as I call it. And you have all these brokers that turn into like used car salesmen, just sending a bunch of shit. Hopefully something sticks. And again, ruins the industry. It's not a very professional way of tackling this business, and I don't want the perception of us to be like a used car salesman. So it's a way that you can just look at a client, have a conversation with them, and get a sense of, like you said, if it's gonna waste your time or not. And that's from a broker angle, from a consumer angle, and that's the reason I wrote the book. Really was for business owners. I remember when I got started, the thought process was not that I was going to even use it for a training like this, but I wanted business owners to know where they stand before they walk into the bank. Because a lot of business owners don't even know where they stand, and generally that relationship we used to have with bankers doesn't exist anymore. Bankers are not there to help you, in essence. You go to the bank and you say you need money. They tell you, fill out this application, and then you get denied or something. They say, we'll send you a letter in the mail. But there's that lack of connection. So consumers need to know where they stand, as it pertains to the products that are available. And then also there was an increase in so many different alternative creative financing within just recent years. Those ways of borrowing money back in the day where you need, tax returns, you need to have a business plan, that doesn't really exist. You don't kind of need to have all of that stuff, depending on, what stage that you're in. So that is the power of 3%, and I'm glad that you kind of appreciated that. Now, what would you say has been your experience so far as working with the team and our support? Because one of the biggest things, especially when you buy such a course, is the support. I always make this joke all the time that you can make a video on how to ride a bike, but nobody can just watch a video on how to ride a bike and know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? You still need some guidance even after watching the video 10 million times. So talk to me about the support offered in Panther Consulting Group, and how much have we kind of walked you through making sure that you're successful even after the training is done?
Bro, man, that's one of the biggest things that I hate in this new internet education era. You got these guys selling these courses, And then once you purchase the course, they're like nowhere to be found. You talking to a VA or this or that. And so far, my experience with you has been very hands-on. I speak with you, man, sometimes 3, 4 times a week. Um, I'm not a techie guy whatsoever, so you guys have assisted me with doing some of the tech behind the scenes tech stuff that I needed done. I mean, it's just been amazing in that arena. That's one of the major things about the program that I've loved so far is that I can speak with you. I'm not talking to the third, fourth, fifth person in line. I'm
Yeah,
speaking with you. I'm getting hands-on training, hands-on advice, and that's been a breath of fresh air in comparison to some of the other things that I've done in the education space.
I got you. Other than Oz, because you said you looked at me and you looked at Oz. Did you look at anything else, or these were just the only
Oh
two?
yeah, I looked at all of them. The guy that just went, had the case, the little Rico thing or whatever.
Chris Rogueli,
Yeah, yep. That global financial, what is it?
training
Global
group.
financial training.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I ran the gambit on these different programs. So yeah, I'm pretty well versed and it was crazy because after I had done all of this research on all of these different uh, companies, and I was, trying to decipher which one that I should go with. One of your videos popped up. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Talking
yeah,
mad shit, coming strong.
yeah, yeah. You went off on my boy Oz, man. You know what I mean? But it was crazy because a lot of the stuff you were saying, I already was seeing myself.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't like, man, he's being negative, he's down in these guys. It was like, man, I see this myself. What else option do you have in the marketplace, though?
Mhm. Okay. So I mean, I think you've already answered it, but just straightforward. Why did you? I mean, out of looking at everybody else, because I've only been doing this for a short period of time. A lot of commercial capital training group, they've been doing for over 20 years.
Mhm.
You got Chris. Chris has been robbing people for years.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, why choose us? Why after everything? What was your final decision making point? Like, you know what, I'm gonna rock with these guys. This is what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I did some research on your program, which you were offering. A lot of it was the things that I needed to complement what I already knew. And then a thing with me is that I'm a realist, and I don't like nobody giving me a bunch of bullshit
Love
promises. And so when a person tell me they finna give me all these leads, like what you gonna if you a loan broker in yourself, why would you give me 1,000 leads? So that, what I mean, that throws me off right there out the gate. Like you can't. I've lived a hard life. You know what I mean. You can't butter me up. So that type of stuff right there kind of throws me off. So I didn't see you promise that. It's like you're gonna have to get your own your own damn leads, but I'll give you some knowledge of how I go about doing it. But you're gonna have to do it yourself. So
it.
that was kind of like my final like straw right there when I was like, okay, this man ain't promising he gonna give me 1,000 leads the day I purchase the product, the program. I'm gonna have 1,000 people blowing my phone up. So I was like, yeah, this is more real.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate that. I hear that stuff so many times, and especially speaking with people, they're like, "Oh, well, they're offering leads," and I'm like, "Dude, come on, you really think like I was trying to, somebody just gonna give you money like that because you do not understand
Yeah, and you a loan broker yourself. Why you gonna give me the 1,000 leads?
exactly? It doesn't make any sense. And I hear that all the time. But as it pertains to lead generation, I always talk all the time, and even on our initial call, as you said, is one of the questions that I always ask people: How are you going to generate leads? Because I don't want people to just come in here full off of air, just think that they're going to pay me money, and then I have a bunch of negative reviews. Oh, I bought the program, it didn't work. I tell you straight up: if you don't get your own leads, you're not going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll teach you everything else I did with you. But as you've seen recently, I've tried to fix that aspect of our program. I think you attended the training that I had recently. What are your thoughts on what we're going here as far as assisting our students with lead generation? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
been one of the things that's been tough to kind of fix.
Right. Well, it would be easy. That's another thing that I like. It would be easy. Because we purchased the program already. You know what I mean. You don't have to give us a new game, as I say, when you learning stuff and expanding your knowledge. You don't have to do that. So that's another thing that I appreciate as well is that obviously you learn some new things, some new AI stuff that like blew you out the water, and immediately you called the team to the table and it was crazy because I was already kind of doing some of the stuff that you introduced to us with the
Absolutely.
make and things of that nature. Yeah, I mean that is because a lot of these dudes they'll share you something that's a wrap, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great thing. But I think a lot of those tools are great. It's going to help everybody that's in the program expand. And that's one of the hardest things is generating the leads and finding people if you're not already working in the industry where you have some built-in leads. So I think that's definitely going to help a lot of people that's on the team.
Absolutely, man. Hey, like I said, I appreciate your time. I don't want to take too much of your time. Just I can't wait to see what we're going to pretty much do in the future. My whole goal is to really create the dynamic with the brokers, because there's too much business out there for everybody. The collaboration we have, if we can have a community where we can all kind of come together and share each other's experiences and try to change the loan broker industry where we can create some set of standards. Things what I mean by that is it should be standard that every broker understands the three parts of lending. That should be standard. You don't call yourself a business loan broker until you understand the three parts of lending.
Absolutely.
Things like that. It should be standard that we should be educating our borrowers on their options, not trying to force a specific product on them. And that comes from understanding three parts of lending. So the way this business is done, I think we need to create some type of standard so we don't have to deal with like regulation, because right now it's kind of messy. There's a lot of scammy stuff going on. So there's a bigger vision in mind. Other than just me trying to make some money out of this, I'm trying to create some standards so we can protect this industry, because it's a very lucrative.
Absolutely.
But we don't want it, to disappear like the loan origination industry did when Dodd-Frank came and ruined everything. So again, I appreciate your time. Hopefully we're gonna, grow together and take this thing on. Appreciate always your input and but anyway, thank you so
All right.
much.
Hey, before we leave, to anybody who's watching this that's on the fence about getting a course or about Brian as an individual, because like I said, we got a lot of snake oil salesmen out here, a lot of BS. Get the course. I don't want to speak about it personally, but Brian did something personally for me, that will always be near and dear to me. So anybody that's a real dude, he ain't got a bunch of chat bots and all this other stuff. Get the program. It's developing, it's growing, and get in now.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I really
Absolutely.
do. You have a good
Absolutely.
rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, man. I'll see you on Wednesday at 7:00. Okay.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Yeah.